G'day, my name's Brett. This is what I like to call a marketplace of ideas. It's in a place called Rainbow Hill, in a small rural town in the Kansai region of Japan. For the last 2 years I've been living here with my wife, her family and our son. Next year we'll be moving back to Australia. I feel like the time I've got left to here in Japan is quickly running through my fingers. So I've got to do something about documenting it. Not just for me, but for my family and friends back home. I thought it might be useful for me to share with you what it is like to be a gaijin living in Japan. And I know that's not too out of the ordinary. You see, I live with my wife and her family. Her family are traditionally Japanese, whatever that means. So, you know, we have our ups and downs just like any family does. I certainly stand out here, that's for sure. My wife and I met maybe 3 years ago, and we dated for a little while, and then she fell pregnant with our son, who's now 1 year and a half. We got married 2 years ago. Jie, my wife, doesn't speak any English, and while that's not a problem for me, when we move back to Australia next year, it might be a problem for her. From time to time it does hinder our communication, but you know, every couple has communication difficulties at time. I think it just makes me work a little bit harder to understand her and where her feelings are coming from. So you know, that's the challenges of having an international marriage, as they say. So our son's 1.5. He's just learning how to speak. You know, sometimes I speak Japanese to him, and sometimes I speak English to him. And he's starting to read the alphabet. It's going to be really interesting to watch him grow up. And knowing two alphabets, not just two. I mean, Japanese has kanji and hiragana and katakana. Knowing 2 languages and knowing them equally. When we move to Australia, of course, he's going to be immersed in Australian culture. So it's going to be much easier for him to pick things up that way. We have another child on the way. He or she will be due in December. So when she comes along, we hope it's a she. Yeah, for more reasons than one. Anyway, when he or she comes along in December, I'll quit my job as an English teacher here and spend a couple of months looking after my family, and then head back to sunny old Queensland in Australia. As if you don't already know, I'm Australian. Anyway. Yeah, so I'll head back there and hopefully pick up a job doing what I did best before I came here, and I was working as a web developer. Yeah. I've still got a lot of things to pick up. You know, the web has changed a lot in the last 5 or 6 years. Anyway, what I'm trying to do with this blog is just share for you folks back home and you know, other people around the world who are interested in watching what it's like to be a gaijin in Japan, living with a Japanese family, raising bilingual kids, and you know, hopefully you can share some of those ups and downs with me.